Hi lovelies and welcome back. I was about to take a little break from recording because I'm filming a few videos because I'm about to travel for Carnival in Brazil and I'm going to be with my family, so it's going to be hectic, so I thought I would just pre-record some things. And I was going to take a little break and take care of my house and do some little things before I got back, but I remembered something that I thought that I would share with you guys. I did a family constellation a few months back, and a specific scene came into my mind. I feel really kind of haunted by some things that have happened in my past, and I spent it was kind of some things that were so haunting that I shut them out of my mind and I didn't remember that they had happened. And then when I remembered, I just felt really like I really hated myself over them, and I felt so much shame and guilt and disgust, and I couldn't even really accept myself or look at myself, and it was all really heavy and really dark. I think it was like the darkest night of my life. I think it was a little bit like of a dark night of the soul. And if you guys know what family constellation is, it's basically I really don't know how to describe it that well. It's basically like you access the energetic camp that encompasses like the energy of your ancestors and your family and all the connections and the ties and the situations that energetically got linked and are dense within that camp and that need healing and that can, for example, something really difficult happened to your ancestors, maybe your grandparents, maybe their grandparents, maybe their parents, and that energy lingers because it wasn't transmuted and healed. So when you do the family constellation, you can kind of access it to understand it, to heal it, and to break the cycle in a way. And my family constellation started. I was there with my mom, and I was just sitting on a little bench, and I chose the people that I wanted to do it with, that I wanted to represent me and my family and my situation. And this guy that I had been feeling a connection to got up and pointed, and as soon as it started, I started crying. And I realized I had such a different vision of everything that had happened. I could understand it from a different perspective, and I could have so much empathy and care for myself, but I was also really scared and really confused during the constellation. And this guy got up and he just pointed at me and he was like, "You're crying because you're ashamed." And that's basically what I thought about to start this video. And I was crying because I was ashamed. And I realized that there was like a little version of myself that was longing for my affection and for me to not feel ashamed of that anymore and for me to forgive her, to forgive that past version of myself that did that, not knowing and not understanding. And I honestly, I don't know if I can comprehend it fully. I feel like I access like past life things and scenarios that helped me understand it, but it's still something that I'm trying to release and really heal and really nurture and forgive that part of myself that did those things. But I realized the love, because you choose a person to represent you and then the rest of your family members and everything. And the lady that I did it, she does it like in a different way that she puts everybody to like be represented, and it was really lovely. And the person that was representing me was one of my dear friends that I love so much, and I was basically on the way to the constellation, and I really hoped that she was going to be there because I wanted her to represent me, and she was. And she was so blessed to be able to represent me, and we just kept hugging and sending each other love, and I was just so grateful to have her, which is basically me. And I realized that that first version of myself, that the things that I'm ashamed of, deserves to have the love that that version of me had for myself and that I have for myself and the person that was representing me had for me. And I feel like sometimes we go through dark things and dark situations, and the more that we try to leave them in the dark, the more that the darkness eats up at us, and the more that we try to see it, understand it, heal it, forgive it, kind of like Ho'oponopono, and send light to that, the more that we acknowledge it and confront it and accept it, the more light that is getting shined onto that darkness, and the less dark that it's becoming, and the more light that it's becoming. So I think this video is just a little bit of a PSA that you deserve the forgiveness, and you shouldn't be feeling shame. I know that it's difficult. It's something that I've really struggled to overcome, but there's a little version of yourself, younger, that didn't have the knowledge that you have now and deserves to have your empathy and to feel your love. And the more that you are able to integrate every single part of yourself, the darkest parts and the lightest parts and the mundane parts, the more that you're going to be stable, balanced, and feel whole in this existence and in your journey as a whole. So shine a little light on the dark. As much as you might be scared, I was also scared, and things happened. Sometimes to balance karmic wheels, and sometimes because of ancestral baggage and your own past lives baggage and everything. So sometimes we don't have to have all the answers. I know that sometimes I'm looking at the sky and I'm like, give me the answers. But sometimes we don't have the answers because they wouldn't be productive or helpful at this time. So hopefully this can inspire you just a little bit to shine a little bit of that light and send love to that situation. Maybe do a Ho'oponopono exercise and know that you're worthy of love, you're worthy of forgiveness, and you're worthy of gravitating and vibrating at a frequency of empathy and forgiveness, which is pure and light, and shame and guilt are some of the worst possible, lowest vibrations, and you don't deserve that. You've learned and you've healed, and if you feel guilt and shame, it's because you understand what the problem was and the problem in your action. So now that you've grown and you have that wisdom, share that wisdom and that kindness and that empathy and compassion with that version of yourself, and know that you're not your actions, they don't define you, and you can't change the past, but you can change what you do moving forward and the person that you are, and you can choose to forgive yourself because the things that have happened won't change, but your outlook on it and the energy of healing that you can send to it is totally in your control. So stress a little bit less about what you can't control and dedicate more energy to changing what you can. Creating a reality where you feel love and acceptance for yourself, and you live life integrated with the most beautiful parts of yourself and the parts that are harder to accept. And you deserve the healing and you deserve the love. And I love you. I'm happy that you're here. I hope that you can subscribe and stick around. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.